The Galactic Alliance fleet arrived at the edge of the Sol system in perfect formation. From a distance, Earth looked small, blue, quiet, fragile. Commander Varix watched the planet on the main screen of his command ship. His 4 eyes blinked slowly, unimpressed. Around him, senior officers studied their data with relaxed posture. No one felt fear. No one expected trouble. "This is the human homeworld?" Varix asked. "Yes, Commander," replied the intelligence officer. "Planet designation: Earth. Deathworld classification: low civilization threat." Varix let out a soft, clicking laugh. "Deathworld," he repeated. "And yet the dominant species still uses chemical rockets and metal weapons." The bridge filled with quiet amusement. The Galactic Alliance had conquered worlds far more advanced than this. Species with energy shields, plasma cities, and psychic soldiers had fallen in weeks. Humans, by comparison, were slow and divided. They argued among themselves. They fought each other more than any outside enemy. To the Alliance, that meant weakness. Scans showed billions of humans on the surface. Cities glowed across the dark side of the planet. Signals flooded space. Music, arguments, advertisements, stories. "Humans never stopped making noise. They do not even hide," one officer said. "They have never faced a real enemy," Varix replied. "Prepare the standard procedure." The standard procedure was simple. Arrive, show power, demand surrender. Almost every species surrendered after seeing an Alliance fleet. Vi. Rex expected the same. But as the fleet moved closer, something felt wrong. Human satellites detected the fleet instantly. That was expected. What was not expected was what followed. Instead of panic, Earth grew silent. One by one, civilian signals shut down. Broadcasts ended. Networks vanished. Even orbital traffic slowed, then stopped completely. The planet went dark. "That is unusual," the intelligence officer said carefully. Varix answered. "They are hiding." But the silence did not feel like fear. Long-range scans showed human warships leaving orbit, not fleeing, but repositioning. Defense platforms moved into tight formations. Deep underground structures activated. Power surged from places the aliens had never noticed before. "Commander," another officer said, tension entering his voice. "Human military channels are activating. All of them." Varix frowned. "Open a communication link," he ordered. "Let us end this quickly." The Alliance broadcast their message in every known language. "Surrender your planet. Lay down your weapons. You will be spared." For several seconds, there was no response. Then the screen changed. A human appeared. She wore a simple dark uniform. Her face was calm. Her eyes were focused, not afraid. Behind her stood other humans, men and women, different shapes and colors, all watching the camera in silence. "You have entered human space," she said. Her voice was steady. "This is your only warning. Leave now." The bridge went silent. Varix stared at the screen in disbelief. "Is this a joke?" he asked quietly. "They are threatening us." An officer whispered. Varix straightened. "Humans," he said loudly, leaning toward the camera. "You are mistaken. You are facing the Galactic Alliance. Resistance will only bring suffering." The human woman did not change her expression. "You should have studied us better," she replied. "You think Earth made us weak?" She paused. "It made us ready." The signal cut. For the first time since the fleet arrived, Commander Varix felt something unfamiliar. "Unease. Launch a small landing force," he ordered after a moment. "Minimal weapons. We will show them reality." The fleet obeyed. Alliance dropships burned through Earth's atmosphere, glowing like falling stars. They targeted a large coastal city. Scans showed it nearly empty. Humans had evacuated fast. Too fast. The first dropship touched down. Nothing happened. The second kind of landed. Still nothing. Then the ground exploded. Hidden charges tore open the landing zone. Metal and fire ripped through alien armor. Gravity crushed soldiers who were not built for it. Their movements slowed. Their weapons felt heavy in their hands. From the ruins, humans appeared. They moved fast, faster than expected. They used cover. They aimed carefully. They did not shout. They did not celebrate. They fought like this was normal. Alien soldiers tried to regroup, but the humans were already changing tactics. Smoke filled the air. Lights went out. The humans vanished, then struck again from new angles. Within minutes, the landing force was gone. On the command ship, alarms screamed. Commander Varix stared at the battlefield in shock. "How are they moving so easily?" an officer asked. "Earth's gravity," another replied. "It is crushing our troops." "Then why are the humans unaffected?" someone demanded. No one answered. More reports came in. Other landing zones failed. Human defenses were everywhere, hidden, layered, brutal. Simple weapons caused devastating damage. Explosions collapsed alien vehicles. Kinetic rounds punched through armor designed for energy warfare. "These are not weak creatures," the intelligence officer said slowly. Varix said nothing. He watched a wounded human soldier pull himself up and keep fighting. Watched another drag a fallen ally to safety while under fire. Watched humans continue, advancing even as explosions shook the ground. They did not retreat. They did not break. They adapted. A cold realization settled over the bridge. Earth was not dangerous, despite humans. It was dangerous because of them. Commander Varix whispered the words no Alliance commander had ever spoken before. We misjudged them. Outside the viewport, Earth turned slowly, below blue.com, and deadly, and the Galactic Alliance had just made a mistake they could never undo. 6:58 p.m., the 22nd of January, 2026. 3,097,542,673. Here is Part 2. First Contact turns WRO Angrit in third person. Simple, basic English, with strong tension, clear flow, and engage in pacing for narration. This part continues directly from Part 1 and keeps suspense high. The command bridge was silent. Screens showed burning landing zones, broken ships, dead soldiers, human figures moving through smoke and fire like shadows. Commander Varax stood frozen. This was not how First Contact was supposed to go. The Galactic Alliance did not lose first battles, ever. Pull back the remaining landing forces, he ordered. A commander now, he said sharply. The surviving dropships lifted off. Damaged and burning, retreating into the sky. Some never made it back to orbit. The bridge filled with low-fear sounds from alien throats. Human weapons were simple. Human ships were old. Human technology was not advanced, but their tactics were perfect. They were waiting. The intelligence officer said. They prepared everything. Varex's eyes stayed on the screens. No, he said slowly. They trained for this. The Alliance launched drones to scan the planet again. Deeper this time. Stronger scans. What they found was, worse, human cities were built over deep underground networks. Old tunnels, military bunkers, hidden bases, emergency shelters, weapon factories, hidden inside mountains, shipyards. Buried beneath oceans. Earth was not just a home, it was a fortress. They turned their world into a weapon, an officer whispered. More reports came in from captured alien soldiers. Humans fought while wounded. Humans did not panic when surrounded. Humans used broken buildings as traps. Humans used fire, water, smoke, gravity, and terrain like tools. They did not fight like a soft species. They fought like predators. Varax ordered a controlled orbital strike. Not full destructions, just a warning. Alliance ships fired energy beams into empty zones near human military areas. The ground shook. The oceans moved. The sky burned. Still, humans did not surrender. Instead, Earth responded. Human warships rose from hidden bases, missiles launched from land and sea. Defense platforms opened fire together. The human fleet was smaller, but it moved. As one, alien ships were hit by weapons that did not try to burn shields. They hit with mass, speed, force, kinetic strikes. Slammed into hulls, explosive payloads, shattered systems, EMP waves shut down electronics. Human weapons did not look advanced. They were just effective. Commander, an officer said, voice shaking. They are targeting command systems. Varax realized the truth. Too late. Humans were not trying to scare them. They were trying to disable them. The Alliance fleet formation broke. Ships drifted. Systems failed. Communication died. For the first time in Alliance history, the fleet lost control. And then something worse happened. Human ships began boarding actions. Small craft launched from Earth and slammed into alien hulls. Airlocks were cut open. Human soldiers entered in heavy armor built for pressure and gravity. Alien troops tried to resist. They failed. Humans moved through corridors with calm speed. They fought in tight teams. They protected each other. They advanced, even when injured. Captured footage showed humans dragging wounded soldiers while still firing. They did not abandon each other. They did not break formation. They did not retreat. Alien commanders across the fleet sent the same message. These are not civilians. These are not weak beings. These are war-born creatures. Varax felt his chest tighten. What are they? He whispered. The intelligence officer answered quietly. Deathworlders. Data began flooding the system. Human history. Human wars. Human survival records. Plagues. World wars. Natural disasters. Extinctions. Nuclear. Near-destruction. Environmental collapse. Recovery. Rebuilding. Again and again. Humans did not live in peace. They lived in struggle. They evolved in danger. They adapted through pain. They learned war before they learned space. They were forged by their planet, the officer said. Their world trained them. Varax looked at Earth again. Storms covered continents. Oceans crashed against land. Ice swallowed entire regions. Heat burned others. A world that killed the weak. A world that hardened the strong. And humans survived it. Not by kindness, not by comfort, but by endurance, not by violence, not by unity and danger. A message came through from a human channel, not a threat, not a demand, a warning, greater than leave. We do not want your worlds, we do not want your empire, but we will defend our home. Varex closed his eyes. The Galactic Alliance had made a simple mistake. They saw a dangerous planet and thought it made weak creatures. They never considered the truth. A dangerous world creates dangerous survivors. And now, those survivors were awake, watching, waiting, ready. The Galactic Alliance did not retreat immediately. They froze. Ships drifted in damaged formation. Above Earth, systems flickered, command channels stayed quiet. For the first time in centuries, the Alliance did not know what to do. Commander Ver ordered a full intelligence review on humanity. Not summaries, not surface scans. Everything. What they found terrified them. Human bodies were studied first. Their bones were dense and strong. Their muscles could push far beyond safe limits. Their bodies released chemicals that blocked pain and fear when injured. Humans did not always stop. They continued. Human medical records showed soldiers fighting with broken limbs, civilians surviving wounds that should have killed them, bodies adapting to stress instead of shutting down. They are biologically unstable, a scientist said. Now another added. They are biologically extreme. Then came the human mind. Humans evolved under constant danger. Predators, disease, starvation, natural disasters did not weaken them. Fear sharpened them. Humans learned to act under pressure, to make fast choices too. Accept loss and keep moving. Where other species avoided pain, humans endured it. Where others froze, humans reacted. Where others surrendered, humans fought back. Their history was worse. The Alliance expected a peaceful species with small wars. Instead, they found a record of endless conflict. Humans fought over land, over beliefs, over resources, over survival. They built weapons not for conquest, but because someone else might attack first. They destroyed themselves more than once, and each time, they rebuilt. Stronger, smarter, more careful. The senior analyst spoke quietly. They survived themselves. That statement changed everything. Human war doctrine was studied. Next, humans planned for worst-case scenarios. They trained for failure. They assumed systems would break. They practiced fighting without supplies, without orders, without hope. They did not depend on perfect conditions. They expected chaos. Alien generals realized something horrifying. Human tactics worked because they were designed for disaster. That was why humans adapted so fast in battle. This was normal to them. The term Deathworlder appeared again and again in Alliance. Records.in described species that evolved on worlds so dangerous that survival itself was a war. Most Deathworlders never reached space. They destroyed themselves first. Humans did not be reached. The stars carrying war in their blood. News spread across the galaxy. Merchant ships rerouted away from human space. Neutral systems. Closed borders. Old empires watched silently. Every species asked the same question. If humans could do this defending their world, what would they do attacking someone else's? Commander Verix received reports from across the fleet. Morale was collapsing. Soldiers feared close combat. Pilots feared human missiles. Officers feared human patience, because humans did not rush. They waited, they learned, they improved. Human counterattacks became sharper, faster, more precise. Alliance ships that returned from battle showed terrifying damage patterns. Humans, targeted engines. Life. Support. Command centers. They did not waste shots. They aimed to end fights quickly, cleanly, effectively. They are not cruel, an officer said. They are efficient. That frightened them even more. A final report reached Varex. Human military leadership had predicted alien invasion decades earlier. Not this enemy, but an enemy. They prepared anyway. Hidden fleets, fallback positions, planet-wide evacuation plans. Human leaders expected invasion because history taught them one rule. Someone always comes for what you have, Varex. Understood then. Humans did not hate the Alliance. They expected them. He looked at Earth. Again, peaceful from space. Deadly on the ground. A world that trained its children in danger. A world that taught survival before comfort. A world that created soldiers, even in peace. Commander Varex spoke softly. We are not their enemies, he said. The bridge turned to him. We are their test. And humanity was passing. The Galactic Alliance expected humans to stay defensive. They were wrong. Human commanders had watched the alien fleet carefully. They studied every movement, every retreat, every mistake. Then humanity changed the war without warning. Human ships left Earth's orbit. Not many. Just enough. Small fleets moved fast, using captured alien data. They did not charge blindly. They targeted supply lines. Alliance. Transport ships vanished. Fuel depots exploded. Communication relays went silent. Humans did not attack worlds. They attacked systems. Alien fleets began to starve in space. Commander Varix watched reports arrive faster than he could read. Human forces boarded a logistics station. Human strike team destroyed a repair dock. Human units escaped before reinforcements arrived. The humans always left. They never stayed. They hit, learned, and vanished. This is not conquest. An officer said. This is control. Human boarding teams became the greatest fear. They moved through alien ships with terrifying calm. Their armor was heavy, designed for crushing pressure. Their weapons were loud and physical. They did not rely on energy. They relied on impact. Alien soldiers struggled to move in low gravity after Earth's. Humans moved freely. They had trained for this. Captured footage spread across the fleet. Humans advancing through smoke-filled corridors, using hand signals, covering each other. When one fell, another stepped forward. No panic, no shouting, just progress. Alliance commanders began issuing new orders. Avoid close combat, avoid boarding, maintain distance. Human response? They closed the distance. Human ships were not faster, but they were smarter. They used asteroids, debris, planet, shadows. They forced fights where alien advantages failed. Vorex realized something chilling. Humans were fighting like this was not their first war. They were fighting like this was something they understood deeply. A message arrived from a distant, Alliance outpost. Human ships had appeared. They did not fire. They sent one message. Do not interfere. This is between us and those who attacked our home. Then they left. The galaxy watched in silence. Neutral species feared humans, but they also respected them. Humans did not attack without reason. They did not destroy worlds. They punished threats. Commander Varix gathered his senior officers. This war will not be won, he said calmly. The humans are not expanding. They are teaching. The Alliance fleet suffered another loss. A flagship disabled by human boarding teams. Its commander survived. His report spread fear to humans. Spoke while fighting, he said. They warned us where not to stand. They avoided civilians. They stopped firing when we surrendered. That made the truth clear. Humans followed rules, their own rules. And those rules were built from centuries of war. Human technology evolved quickly. Captured alien weapons were studied, improved, rebuilt within weeks. Human ships carried hybrid systems. Alliance advantages vanished one by one. The power balance shifted. For the first time, the Galactic Alliance faced an enemy that learned faster than it could. Varix stood alone, watching Earth from afar. He remembered how small it looked when they arrived. Now it felt enormous. A world that created warriors by accident. A species that turned survival into strength. The Alliance did not face a monster. They faced a mirror. Humanity had learned from suffering, and now they were returning that lesson. With precision, with restraint, with force. The war did not end with a final battle. It ended with understanding. Across the galaxy, news spread faster than fleets could move. Trade routes closed. Old alliances grew quiet. Neutral worlds watched in silence. Everyone had seen the reports. The Galactic Alliance had attacked a young species and failed. Alien historians studied the conflict carefully. Humans did not conquer planets. Humans did not enslave populations. Humans did not burn cities from orbit. They struck only what threatened them. That confused the galaxy. Most empires fought for power. Humans fought for safety. That difference mattered. Commander Varix received orders from the Galactic Council. Open negotiations. That order alone showed how much had changed. The Alliance had never negotiated from weakness before. A neutral system was chosen. Dead moon, no weapons allowed. Human representatives arrive in a single ship. No escort, no display of power, just presence. Varix met them in person. The humans looked tired but calm. Not proud, not angry, just focused. We did not seek this war, the human leader said, but we will not lose our home. Varix believed them. The council spoke next. They admitted their mistake. They underestimated Earth. They misunderstood Deathworld species. They believed danger made weakness. They were wrong. The term Deathworlder changed meaning that day. It no longer meant savage or unstable. It meant resilient. It meant unbreakable. It meant prepared across the galaxy. Military doctrines changed. Commanders rewrote invasion plans. Scientists revised biological threat scales. One rule was added everywhere. Never provoke a Deathworld species. Never invade their home. Humanity became a reference point. Warning example. When young civilizations asked about Earth, elders answered carefully. They are calm until threatened. They endure what would break us. They fight only when forced. And then the final truth? They will finish what you start. Commander Varix returned to his ship after the talks. The war was over, but its lesson would last forever. He looked at Earth one last time. The planet still looked peaceful, blue dot alive, dot deadly dot, and now, respected. The war with humanity ended quietly. No victory parade, no celebration across the stars dot. No songs of conquest, but its echo never faded. Years passed, the Galactic Alliance still existed. But it was no longer feared. It was careful. Borders were redrawn. Invasion. Fleets were reduced. Military councils changed their language. They no longer spoke of domination, they spoke of restraint. And every discussion included the same word. Earth humanity did not build an empire. They returned home. They repaired their cities. They honored their dead. They rebuilt what was lost. Their fleet stayed close to their system, not as a threat, as a promise. Across the galaxy, young species began to ask questions. Who are the humans? Why do even the strongest empires avoid them? The elders answered with stories. They spoke of a blue world that tried to kill its children every day, of storms that swallowed cities, of predators that hunted for survival, of a species that learned to fight nature itself. They explained that humans were not born warriors, they were trained by survival. Commander Varix retired soon after the war. In his final address to the council, he spoke words that would be recorded forever. We believed strength came from power, he said. Humans taught. U.S. strength comes from he warned future leaders. Do not confuse kindness with weakness. Do not mistake silence for fear. His final message was simple. Never force a Deathworlder to fight for their home. Humanity's name became part of galactic law. No fleets were allowed within human space. Without invitation, no weapons were to be aimed at Earth. No threats were tolerated, not because humans demanded it. Because everyone remembered what happened when they were underestimated. Earth remained dangerous. Humans remained calm. They traded, they explored. They spoke peacefully. But every species knew the truth. If humanity ever stood up again, it would not be to conquer, it would be to protect. And across the stars, one warning was passed from generation to generation. Never underestimate humanity. Never challenge death.